Hello and good evening. It's a nice Monday night, right? And got some Citizen playing, and we're gonna be back in Phoenix, Wright. Turnabout Samurai is the case, and we'll just need to once I get over to my other live scene, I'll have to switch over to my capture card. But beyond that, we're all good, right? Well, it should be a nice, relaxing stream tonight. And, yeah, don't really have anything else to yap about here. Yeah, let's just get right into it, right? Let's see what we got going on here. We'll go hide that. Simple as, right? Okay. Let's get the iTunes paused and should have. Alright, we should have audio here. Yeah, Turnabout Samurai, we're here to prove the innocence of our client, and apparently, to find who was responsible, because that's, of course, the defense's job, not the prosecution's, but we'll see. Yeah, Will Powers. Mr. Wright? Yes? Why do you look so unhappy? Oh, nothing. Really, it's nothing. Right, Mia? Uh-oh, she looks even unhappier. Phoenix, your client is now practically a dead man walking. Perhaps that's why I feel particularly close to him. Yeah, Mia's dead and being channeled by Maya now. This is no time for dead people jokes, please. You know we're going into this trial utterly defenseless. Yet, if Mr. Powers is truly innocent, we should be able to find something overlooked in the evidence to prove it. Something overlooked? We have to find something, Phoenix, today. It's that or lose the trial. This isn't going to be easy. All right. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. An unexpected fact has come to the attention of the court. Yesterday, we learned that there were other people present at the studios. Today, I would like to show evidence proving they had nothing to do with the murder. Very well. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. I wonder if it'll be that producer. The prosecution calls Mr. Sal Manella to the stand. Oh yeah, this creep. Or that director. Ugh. Will the witness state his name and profession? How rude can you get? You don't know me? I'm the director. I make the Steel Samurai, noob. Raffle. I love Edgeworth just not putting up with his shit at all. Salmonella. I'm a director. Television. Were you at Global Studios on the day of the murder? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. Please testify to the court about the events of that day. Phoenix. Let's start by picking this testimony apart. If Powers is innocent, you know what that means. Someone in the trailer on that day did it. Right. She doesn't waste any time putting on the pressure. The The day of the murder. I was at the studios from around 9 that morning. During the morning, I was doing an action scene run-through. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. But I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. We were in the meeting until around 4. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. That's about it. Alright, we're gonna press the crap out of this. The time of Mr. Hammer's death was 2:30 p.m. And according to your testimony, you were in a meeting at that time. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Alright. Let me just, press everything. Is that when you always come into work? Oh no, I come in all sort of hours. It's the industry way. Yeah, I know all about the freaks in your industry. Still, for what it's worth, I was pretty busy all that day, frowny face. How does he speak a frowny face emote? I don't understand it. Tell us more about that. During the morning, I was doing an action scene run-through. In the employee area? That's right. It was a fight scene between the Steel Samurai and the Evil Magistrate. Was anyone else at the run-through? Oh, yeah, that security lady was sitting there watching the whole thing. LOL. She was cheering on Hammer, if you can believe it. She certainly has the lungs for it. Anyone else? Nope, just us 4. It took a lot more time than I thought it would. Why did it go on so long? I'm pretty sure you've already heard about this. But Will Powers twisted his ankle during the run-through, see? Oh, right, thus the limp. Which of course led to me missing my lunch. ROFS? ROFS? Rolling on the floor... starving? I hear that everyone else ate lunch in the employee area. What exactly did they have for lunch? T-bone steak. The assistant cooked some up. Come to think of it, there was a plate with some bones on it in the employee area. Everyone else, meaning that the witness did not eat with them. But I had a meeting in the Studio 2 trailer, so I ended up skipping lunch. So in the end, you didn't get to eat? Yeah, no steak at least. Can you believe it? That must have been tough. Phoenix. Yeah? Doesn't something about that seem odd to you? Yeah, it does seem odd now that you mention it. Mr. Manella. What do you want? When I went to Studio 2, I saw something on the table there. There were 2 plates, the same kind of plates as the ones in the employee area. Who ate lunch there? No, good call. I was embarrassed, so I didn't mention it. But I did eat after all. A T-bone steak, you mean? Yeah, well, I mean, the assistant went through all that trouble. I brought it to the trailer, thinking I could eat it later. Clearly a man who likes to eat. I suspected as much. So when exactly did you eat it? We took 1 break during that meeting. I wolfed it down then. A mental image I will carry with me to my grave. Wait a second. If they took a break in that meeting, that contradicts his testimony. I'll press on that one a bit more. We were in the meeting till around 4. What were you discussing? The Steel Samurai story and our budget. Get this, the sponsors turn to me and say, Mr. Manella, those scripts of yours are not appropriate for children. Can you believe it? Actually, I kind of can. So nobody left the table during the whole meeting. During the meeting, well, I'm pretty sure no one left their chairs. You didn't take a single break? Well... yeah, not a one. What's he sweating so much about, I wonder? If only I had an idea. Wait a second. Maybe I do have an idea. Wait a second. Mr. Manella, you've just contradicted yourself. Didn't you just tell the court that you ate that T-bone steak during a break? Oops, Raffle. Well? Mr. Manella, what's this all about? Well, yeah, I guess we did take a little break. Phoenix, great job. If they took a break, one of them could have gone to the studio during that time. Your Honor, I call on the witness to testify to the court about this break. Very well. Mr. Manella, your testimony, please. Uh-oh, Edgeworth is laughing. The break. Bear with me just a second here. Just a second. Sorry, just responding to a text message, but we're all good. The break. Yeah, for what it's worth, we took a break, Raffle. But it was only 15 minutes. 15? That's only 13 in base 12. Hey, Azzy, how's it going? Not enough time for someone to say, commit murder in Studio 1, LOL. That's only just enough time to eat a T-bone steak, if you ask me. Steams. Weirdo. I don't think it would even be enough time for that, but that's just me. Very well, you may begin the cross-examination. Trying to get the bean down so I can try this fancy whiskey I bought a few months back. Ooh, what kind of whiskey? Whiskey actually sounds really good. Maybe during my break I will grab a bottle and a glass. What time exactly did you take this break? I'd say it was from around 2:30 or so until 2:45. One is called Bonfire something. It's like apples and cidery. That sounds delicious. The other is Blue Lagoon and almost tastes like blue curacao. Interesting. Yeah, I have a couple bottles that I've been really enjoying. Jameson Black Barrel at Jake's recommendation is very, very good. Yeah, I'd say it was from around 2:30 or so until 2:45. 2:30? That's the time of death. They were great when I had the sample that I got ID'd for. Well, of course, they have to do their due diligence and ID people. So he could have gone to Studio 1, killed Hammer, and come back. I guess it's possible, time-wise. But it was only 15 minutes. 15, that's only 13 in base 12. What were you doing for those 15 minutes? Eating my T-bone steak. What else? There were 2 plates on that table. Oh, right. The other one was D. Vasquez's plate. D. Vasquez, the producer. To eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes, that's quite a feat. You were with your mother and the bean. Hey, Tira. Good luck bathing the flea-bitten dog. You know, that brings up an interesting point, Azzy. Why do people get upset when they get asked for ID? It's purely the people providing the restricted service, be it alcohol or cigarettes or marijuana or firearms. You know, they're doing their job. They have to confirm ID. And a lot of places have a policy that if you look like you're under 40, you have to ID. So, I don't know. It's always seemed weird to me. I know you're not. I wasn't saying you were mad. I was saying I've seen people get upset. You know, like people my age and, you know, plus or minus 10 years that get upset when they're asked for their ID. And I'm like, are you kidding? Yeah. And to eat a T-bone steak in 15 minutes, that's quite a feat. You don't look over 30. I will disagree with that. Why is that? Haven't we had enough of this pointless line of questioning? Your Honor, the testimony to this point has made one certain fact painfully clear. The people in the trailer had nothing to do with this murder. It was impossible for any of them to go to Studio One. What? Something wrong, Mr. Wright? Surely you aren't suggesting one of the people in the trailer went to Studio One? Well, Mr. Wright? Phoenix, this is critical. Think about it before you give your answer. Do you claim someone from the trailer went to Studio One? I don't want to write off so many possible suspects. You're not, but I can't keep claiming the impossible either. You're not. I agree that it was impossible for anyone in the trailer to go to the studio in that time. Aha. I thought you might be thoughtlessly treading on thin ice again. But I see you had at least an inkling of the truth. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? It's quite simple. True, the break in the trailer meeting came right at the time of death. However, the path from there to the scene of the crime was blocked. The fallen Mrs. Monkeyhead barred the way. At around 2:15, a strong gust of wind knocked off the studio mascot's head. Ergo, when the people in the trailer took a break at 2:30, the way to the studio was blocked. Blocked by Mrs. Monkey's severed head. I want to look at the court record real quick. I can't remember. He says Mrs. Monkey, but it's Mr. Monkey. Got it. Alright. It's actually... Oh, there it is. It's actually Mr. Monkey, but Edgeworth has a point. And somehow, I feel no desire to correct him. I believe we have seen enough evidence. I would like to relieve Mr. Minella from the stand. What? It's over. Very well. The court's opinion on this case is as follows. We have found that there were several other people in Studio 2 on the day of the murder. However, it is also clear that none of these people could have gone to Studio 1. They therefore have no relation to this case. Furthermore, with regards to the photo of the Steel Samurai, given the size of the costume, no one other than Mr. Powers could have worn it that day. All that is lacking is decisive evidence that he is the one who did it. If we had that, I'm afraid I would have to find Mr. Powers guilty. Your Honor, the prosecution is pleased to announce that we indeed have decisive evidence. A witness. Who is this witness, Mr. Edgeworth? My witness saw the very moment when the Steel Samurai skewered the victim. It's that kid, Cody, I think. Order, I will have order. I see. Thank you, Ozzy. The court will take a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear your witness. Court is adjourned for recess. That was not a very long time in that trial, in this little trial section. Well, thank you for swinging by, Azzy. Get the bean to bed. And I hope that both you and the bean have a wonderful night and sleep well. What do we do now, Mia? If everyone in that trailer has an alibi... I'm sorry, Phoenix. I guess I was wrong. Mia? Don't tell me you're giving up. If you give up, what hope do I have? Oh, yeah, I can imagine that you... Yeah, I know how that is. Believe me. Don't get me wrong. I've never given up on a trial before, not while there was a chance. Only one thing became clear in your cross-examination. The people in the trailer could not have gone to Studio 1. I thought there was more to it than that, but I was wrong. That's all there is. What's gonna happen to me? It kind of seems like everyone in that courtroom thinks I did it. They think I'm a murderer. Don't worry, Mr. Powers. If you are innocent, we will prove it. I guarantee it. Leave it to us and be yourself. Be strong. You are the Steel Samurai, hero to children everywhere, after all. You. Thanks. Okay, Phoenix. This one's for the kids. Let's do it. Right. I cannot sit still. It's just how I always am. Court is back in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution has a concern. As our witness is a grade schooler of tender years, and this is a murder case, we worry that the defense might cause unnecessary trauma with his cruel questioning. Nice to see Edgeworth taking the moral high ground. However, we have no choice. The prosecution calls Cody Hackins to the stand. Your Honor, perhaps you could arrange a box for him to stand on? Oh, right. Guard, please bring him a box. One of those donut crates should do. Will the witness state his name and grade in school? Witness. What? Just because you're all grown up don't mean you can push me around. Cody? Answer his question, okay? Hey, it's you, the nice lady. I'm Cody Hackins. I'm in 2nd grade. Child. I get the feeling this is going to be a long, long day. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember that you're speaking to a child. Try to be gentle. Witness, Cody. He's having trouble with this gentle thing. You were at Global Studios on the day of the, incident? You got a problem with that? Please tell us what you saw that day. What, Pops? You want me to tell you and Gramps with the beard over there? Just, Mr. Edgeworth will be fine. I prefer bearded gentlemen myself. A very long day. Incidentally, photographic equipment is strictly forbidden in this courtroom. My apologies, Your Honor. He said he wouldn't testify if he couldn't bring it. I'd like special permission if that's possible. Wait, so you're saying you had to bargain terms with a kid, and you lost? Hey, I just got this new camera. Don't really know how to use it all that good yet, but I bring it with me wherever I go. Phoenix. I wonder if he had that camera on the day of the murder. You better make a note of it in the court record. Very well, Cody. Please testify to the court about what you saw the day of the incident. Excuse me. I wanted to see a Steel Samurai rehearsal just once. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. I went through the woods off the path so the old lady wouldn't catch me. I was going for the studio. I got kind of lost on the way, though, for about 30 minutes. When I came out by the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. It totally rocked. Right before my eyes, out came the bad guy. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. Wow. If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you. Anyway, I couldn't get into the studio, so I went home. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. But be gentle. Remember, you're talking to a child. This kid is tougher than most adults we see in here, honestly. That's true. Wonder how much I can get away with pressing his statements. You really like the Steel Samurai, huh? Of course I do. I've taped every show, and I go to all the live performances. That's impressive. Have you been to the amusement park? Of course, duh. Hi, Raven. How are you doing? God, that still blows my mind a little bit. That I shouldn't be surprised that across multiple platforms there are multiple people that want or have the name Raven Blackheart spelled various ways. But hey, welcome in, Raven. How are you doing? AU, Raven. Love it. My dad always takes me. Poor dad. I found a map on the internet and went to the studios that day. Was that day the first time you'd been to the studio? Actually, I've been a couple of times. I never managed to get there on a rehearsal day, and that security lady's always yelling. Right, please continue. Chill, Pops, I'm getting to it. How am I supposed to talk with you cutting me off all the time? Jeez. I love this kid. I went through the woods, off the path, so that old lady wouldn't catch me. Off the path? Yeah, you know how the studios are in a valley there? If you go off the path a little, there's woods. That's where I was. I see. Anyhow, I was going for the studio. Did nothing unusual happen on your way to the studio? Unusual? Did you see this monkey by any chance? Oh, you mean Mr. Monkey? Yeah, I saw him, but his head wasn't busted. So you went straight to the studio. I got kind of lost on the way, though, for about 30 minutes. You got lost in the woods? Yeah, I couldn't figure out which way I was walking. Man, was I relieved when I saw the blue studio doors. But guess what happened next? When I came out by the studio, there was the Steel Samurai. Steel Samurai? Yeah, he was standing by the studio gate. It looked like he was thinking about something before going in. Then he opened up the gate and went inside. I see. What then? It totally erupted right before my eyes. Out came the bad guy. What sort of bad guy was it? A guy, a person, kinda tall, skinny. Are you sure it was a guy? I don't know, he was kinda far away. Huh, he's being awfully vague. Of course, the Steel Samurai took him down. How? What happened to the bad guy? Huh? Well, he kinda didn't move. Not a bit, like he was dead. I guess he's a real pro. What a great actor. Yes, I suppose he was. If I had my camera with me, that would have been the time for a shot, I tell you. I don't know whether to present the camera or the path to glory. I think it's the camera. Cody, what you just said seems, well, a little strange. Didn't you say before that you always bring your digital camera wherever you go? You were quite clear about that. Huh? Cody, you shouldn't lie here. You understand that, right? Mr. Wright, a word with you? Uh-oh, was I putting the pressure on too much? What is this digital camera contraption you're talking about? Not knowing what a digital camera is, gotta love it. It's, a digital camera, Your Honor. It's kind of a new sort of camera. How do I explain that? I see. Anyway, Cody, I can't believe you wouldn't bring your camera on a trip to the studios. You did bring it, didn't you? Mr. Wright, how cruel you are to terrorize a poor child so. I was being really nice. I don't care if he's a child or a prosecuting attorney. No one should lie in court. What do you mean, or a prosecuting attorney? Well, Cody, What? Yeah, so I had my camera. So what? You got a problem with that? I love that they also let him have a sword in court. So you did have a camera. And did you use this camera? Why would I use it? I was too busy watching. Very well. Please testify to the court about what you were so busy watching. Yeah, I had my camera with me, but I was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off it. The Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! Then the bad guy stopped moving. He's so strong, the Steel Samurai rules. Ah, is that all? Well, that was brief. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Yeah, I had my camera with me, but I was glued to the action. I couldn't take my eyes off of it. So you were watching the Steel Samurai. Did you watch the whole fight? Yeah, of course. You didn't turn away, not even once? No. Okay, then tell us exactly what happened. Yeah, I'm getting to that. The Steel Samurai, he goes for the bad guy. Wham! So the bad guy attacked him first. Yeah. What sort of person was this bad guy? I told you, a person. He was a person. How was he dressed? I kinda don't remember. I was too busy watching the Steel Samurai. I see, and what happened next? Then the bad guy stopped moving. Why? Huh? What do you mean, why? Why wasn't the bad guy moving? Well, because the Steel Samurai brought him to justice. And how exactly did he do that? How did he do it? With a samurai kick, and a samurai punch, samurai chop, samurai slap. Something like that. He's still being vague about this. What? Don't give me that look, Pops. How should I play this? Cody? What? Something's bothering me. Before you said that you couldn't take your eyes off the action. Yeah, so what? Yet you missed the most important part. What is the meaning of this? The witness has stated what he saw quite clearly. You know as well as I do that he's being vague. Tell me, what kind of murderer uses a samurai slap? My point is this. Cody, you may have seen some of the Steel Samurai's fight, but you missed the most important part, the killing blow. Order, order. Mr. Wright, how could this be? Can you explain how he might have missed something so vital? That's the thing. Phoenix, I believe you're on the right track with this. Think, why didn't Cody see the climax of the fight? I know you can figure this out. Mr. Wright, your answer. We have ascertained that this young boy is a great fan of the Steel Samurai. Why wouldn't he watch the climax of the fight? Aha! Your Honor, I have evidence. Evidence? Yes, Your Honor. Why did Cody look away from the fight? I think it's this, because the Steel Samurai lost. Here's my proof. Proof? Nope. Oh, that doesn't prove anything. Nope. He was watching something else? Missed the climax of the fight because he was looking at something else. Probably something else. No. What could possibly distract this boy from seeing his idol, the Steel Samurai, fight? What do you claim he was looking at? Mr. Wright. Baseless claims. Yes, yes. Sorry, Your Honor. Young boy is a great fan. Yeah. Alright. Because he couldn't watch it. How could he calmly watch a murder taking place at his age? Just a moment, please. One thing has become quite clear in this boy's testimony. He did not believe he was witnessing a murder. He was watching the Steel Samurai fight like on TV. The more real the fight, the more he would have watched. Okay, I have to have some evidence that... I gotta look. Oh, because he doesn't... He's still learning how to use it. That's it. I was overthinking it. We're good, though. Here's my proof. What's that, the camera? The witness stated that he recently received this camera. Yes, I'm aware of that. He wasn't entirely familiar with its operation. I'm aware of that, too. Ah. Correct. Why would Cody be looking somewhere else at the critical moment? Because he was looking at his camera. He was trying to take a picture. Hey. Bullseye. What's your problem, Pops? You got a thing for picking on little kids? Pressing, not picking. Good job, Phoenix. Cody was lying, clearly. Smart of you to realize there was no way he could just stand there watching his hero and not take a picture. Right. Cody, there was only one reason why you would have looked away from the fight, and that was because you wanted to take a picture. But having just received your camera, you weren't used to using it yet. So you missed the climax of the fight, correct? Yeah. Well, Phoenix, I'll bet you anything he's hiding more than that. Have him testify again. Right. Mia means business. Your Honor, the defense would like to request that Cody Hackins testify once more. Very well. Cody, could you please tell us about your camera, and about why you didn't take a picture of the fight? Welcome to the real world, kid. Oh, I think I'm remembering this from when I had played it before. Okay. Yeah, you're right, Pops. The Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the villain, so I held up my camera to take a picture, but the lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. That's all that happened. Yup. Nope. Anything strange in that testimony, Mr. Wright? I'm not sure, but I'd like to proceed with the cross-examination anyway. Yeah, you're right. Psst. I don't need to press on that statement. The Steel Samurai had just escaped from the clutches of the villain. So you did see the beginning of the fight? Yeah. Did you notice anything unusual? I guess the Steel Samurai was moving a little strange. Moving strangely. So I held up my camera to take a picture. Why couldn't you take a picture? My new camera has too many buttons, I couldn't figure it out. I tried to take a picture, I really tried. But the lens wouldn't open in time, so I missed it. When the lens opened, what did you see? Well, a person on the ground, and the Steel Samurai. That's all that happened, yup. I don't believe that. That's all? Yeah, I told you I didn't take a picture. I would have once I got that lens open. Did he really not take a picture? Not even one? Nah, he definitely would have taken a picture. There's gotta be something here I can use. Cody. Listen up, Cody Hackins. I know exactly what happened that day. You took a picture. Hey. Bullseye? How did you know? I see through all your lies, Cody Hackins. It's one of my powers. Wow. This feels great. Yeah, I took a picture. Perhaps you can change your testimony to reflect this, Cody. I took a few shots, but it was too late, so I erased them. You erased them? Yeah. Why would you erase a picture of your beloved Steel Samurai victorious? Well, you know, why would I want to keep a picture like that? He's becoming less and less cooperative. I better find a clear contradiction soon, or some solid evidence. How can I pick holes in such a short testimony? There has to be something. Dig up the dirt, Phoenix. Find out what this kid's all about. I think... There it is. Cody. What? Man, every time you say Cody, you follow it with something bad. I just wanted to thank you for giving me this the other day. Huh? Oh, right. What was it you told me then? I go to every live performance. I always take a picture when the Steel Samurai lands the final blow. Whizzam! I got 'em all. I never miss one. A perfect collection. Cody, did you really get a picture of the Steel Samurai standing victorious over his foe? If you did, I find it hard to believe that you would just erase it. Wouldn't you keep it for your album? Ah! Mr. Wright, what exactly is this album? It's called Path to Glory. It's a collection of pictures of the Steel Samurai, all taken by Cody Hackins. He claims it's a perfect collection of every battle the Steel Samurai has won. I see. Don't you find this very odd, Your Honor? Among all his pictures of the Steel Samurai, none were taken that day. Order. Mr. Wright, have you an explanation? If the Steel Samurai had just defeated his adversary, I certainly would expect to see a picture of it in this album. Exactly my point, Your Honor. No, wait, no way. Phoenix? I think we finally discovered the truth. And what a truth it is. Mia, are we sure about this? Did he actually? Yes. I'm pretty sure what you're thinking is right. Tell them, Phoenix. Tell them what the truth is. Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what is going on here. Why was there no picture of in the album from the day of the murder? Why would the boy have erased the photos he took? I can think of only one reason, Your Honor. The Steel Samurai didn't win. That's why Cody deleted those photos. You mean the Steel Samurai lost? Well, Cody, I'm right, aren't I? Tell the truth, the bad guy defeated the Steel Samurai. No way, no! It's impossible. The Steel Samurai never loses. He never loses to anyone, ever. Your Honor, the witness has revealed everything with his words. There was a reason why he lied and told us he didn't take a picture. The same reason he erased his precious photos. For Cody, it was inconceivable that the Steel Samurai could be defeated. However, Cody witnessed the impossible. He saw the Steel Samurai lose. Yet to admit what he saw would destroy everything he believed in. That's why he lied and said the Steel Samurai won. He couldn't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth! Order! I will have order. Witness, I mean Cody, is this true? What did you see? Tell the court what you saw. Oh, man. Gotta be... I really love that kid, though. Cody, that day you saw the Steel Samurai lose a fight, right? Okay. You're right. The Steel Samurai fell down. Then he didn't move. What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? The Steel Samurai was the murderer, not the victim. Yet according to your witness's testimony, the Steel Samurai was the one who fell. Mr. Wright, what's going on? Apparently, we have all made a serious error. And error. What's this all about? Steel Samurai was the victim. If you understand what's really happened, it's actually quite simple. At the end of the fight, the Steel Samurai fell to the ground and lay still. In other words, the Steel Samurai was not the killer, he was the victim. Don't you see? Jack Hammer was the Steel Samurai. Order, order, order! So, the Steel Samurai in this photograph, you're saying the man in this costume was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer? That's what I'm saying, Your Honor. Jack Hammer was present at the audition scene run-through that morning, thus he obviously knew about Willpower's foot injury. But wait, hadn't Mr. Hammer gone to Studio One already? That's what everyone thought, but remember what Miss Soldbag said in her testimony. On the day of the murder, I arrived at the guard station at 1 p.m. Did I see poor old Hammer? Nope. He had already gone to the studio before I got back to the guard station. Mr. Jack Hammer left the employee area after lunch. However, no one saw him going to Studio One, nor was there a picture of him. He waited for Mr. Powers to take a nap in his dressing room. Then he snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. But why would the victim do such a thing? I don't know. I get it. I thought that the Steel Samurai was moving strange, so it was a different person inside the suit. Pops. Huh, me? What? Actually, there was one piece of data I saved. Data? Yeah, a photo on my digital camera. What? Show us, quick. No way, man, not if you're gonna look at me like that. Now! Here, this is it. Uh-huh. Well, looking at this, it's still a little hard to say. I'm afraid that it could be anyone in that costume. Your opinion, Mr. Wright? I agree, Your Honor. This isn't decisive evidence. I'm sorry, this doesn't look like it's the proof we need. I'll give it back. Wait, Phoenix. Mia? What? Look at that photo once more. I noticed something immediately. Did anyone in chat notice anything about the photo? That's it, Phoenix. That photo is all the evidence you need to win this trial. What? Your Honor, may I see that photo once more, please? Certainly, I don't see why not. Phoenix, show him. There's a glaring, decisive inconsistency with the facts as we know them in that photo. Well, here, let me, Well, no. So, we're gonna look at this real quick. According to everyone's testimony, the murder took place in Studio One. Bear that in mind before we see the photo. It's a gate to a studio, that's for sure, and someone in the Steel Samurai outfit. It is Studio 2. I picked the wrong 2. Sure. Your Honor, look at this. I see. A gate? Might I draw your attention to the number on that gate? The number? Ah, yes. Well, it's hard to see, but it looks like a 2. Clearly not a 1, Your Honor, correct? I believe Mr. Edgeworth sees what I'm getting at. But that's impossible. What's this all about? Please explain so that I might be shocked along with the rest of the court. I love how clueless the judge always is in these trials. I'll use the studio guide map. The body was found here in Studio 1. However, what do we see that... in this photo taken at the time of the murder. It does not say 1 on that gate in the photo. Your Honor, here is the true scene of the crime. Yes, I will. Here at Studio 2. I see, that would explain the 2 on the gate in the photo. You think? Judge is just here to hear the tea. Yeah, exactly right. I want to become a judge just for the hot goss. No. Your Honor, I find it very significant that the murder took place in Studio 2. Studio 2 is no longer being used for filming. I see. And this is significant. Why? Good question. I really should think these things through. Yep. Stabbing away, Your Honor. As you may recall, there is a trailer in Studio 2. Now, on that day, a meeting was held in that very trailer. There was a break in the meeting corresponding to the time of death. During that break, Mr. Salmonella and Miss D. Vasquez were outside eating steak. They were at the scene of the crime. The path to the trailer was blocked. So we have heard. The path was blocked at 2:15. In other words, the victim went to Studio 2 before that time. Yes, I suppose that would be the case. Remember Mr. Salmonella's testimony? Allow me to remind the court. He said no one in the trailer was guilty because they could not have gone to Studio 1. Yet in actuality, the reverse was true. Only someone in the trailer could have committed this murder. They were the only ones with access to the scene of the crime, Studio 2. Order. The defense makes the following claims. The scene of the crime was Studio 2. The person that the security guard, Miss Oldbag, saw was the victim, Mr. Jack Hammer. Mr. Hammer, for some reason, stole a Steel Samurai costume. Then he went to Studio 2. This is madness. Jack Hammer is the victim. The victim! Why would he steal a Steel Samurai costume? Are you suggesting he did so to cover up the details of his own murder? Well, no, of course not. Or do you have proof? Give me proof that the victim, Jack Hammer, stole the costume. I'll present that empty bottle. I have proof. You do? You do, Mr. Wright? Now that they're so surprised, suddenly I'm much less confident. I think I'm right, though. Here's my proof that Jack Hammer stole the costume. This is it. An empty medicine bottle? I found this on the table in the employee area. Same table where Mr. Hammer and Mr. Powers ate. The label reads, sleeping pills. Sleeping pills? The defendant, Mr. Powers, spent that entire afternoon sleeping. He was drugged by Mr. Hammer. Wait a moment. That bottle does raise some suspicions, yes. But there is no proof that Mr. Hammer used it. Your Honor, I have an idea. An idea? Very well, let's hear it. I want to check this bottle for fingerprints. If my claim is true, Mr. Hammer's fingerprints should show up on this bottle. I suppose you're right. Very well, the court will take possession of the bottle. This court will suspend proceedings on the current trial for today. Cody Hacken's testimony has revealed new possibilities in this case. In fact, things may have happened very differently than we previously thought. The Steel Samurai seen by Miss Oldbag may have been the victim, Jack Hammer. The scene of the crime was not Studio 1, but Studio 2. And those in the trailer did have time to commit murder. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Your homework is to find the answer to the following question. Why would Mr. Hammer steal a steel samurai costume? Also, who killed him and why? Find the answers for me by tomorrow. It's a lot of homework. Mr. Edgeworth. You will need to reconsider your stance in this case. Above all, you will need to reconsider your suspicion of Mr. Will Powers. As you say, Your Honor. See, here's the thing. In U.S. court, that would be enough. That's reasonable doubt. This trial will be extended until tomorrow. This is the last extension. Very well, court is adjourned. One more investigation day, I think. Letting out court early, huh? 2:47 p.m. That's kind of early. Whew, that was a close one. We were saved by a hair, but that's all that counts. I thought seriously about going home about 3 times during the trial. Me too. Really? You both seemed so confident. Maybe I should take up a career in acting? I was ready to pronounce you dead about 3 times back there. Me too. Dead? Oh, of course we're kidding. Are you sure? I wasn't kidding. Now, Mr. Powers, we have to go make our final investigation. But I promise you we'll find the true killer by tomorrow's trial. Right, thanks. Alrighty. Yes, we definitely want to save. Oh, I was already on the correct file. Back out of here. Let's just keep going. Back at the law offices. That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad. I'm sorry I missed it. Maya? So, what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive and proof. Wow, good going, Nick. Under the initial trial system, tomorrow is the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Huh. Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer is. What? Was Maya always this excitable? Yes. Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Mia's here. So no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP. Powers, right. Sorry if I made anyone yawn there. I know yawning is contagious, even over a screen. Let's go talk to Will. Mr. Wright, you did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick, you must have really wowed him in there. Could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP, only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Though there's not really anything I can do to help. Haha, I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. God, can you imagine if the American justice system, heavy air quotes on justice, Um, Had a trial limit of 3 days. Imagine how crazy shit would be. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer. She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why is that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manella? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director. Something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. That dude's a creep, so it's okay. I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh. Yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to a sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago. If there's anything... No, I don't need to present anything. Alright, let's go to the studio. Ah, this bitch. The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. Nick? I think her guard's down. Yeah? I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. Maya, do you constantly, like, have the munchies or something? You eat, you die. Whew, she's alive. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her, so she always gets her way. She seems bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. She's actually being really polite. Wonder who chewed her ass. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal? He's soft, a pushover, does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? I can think of a few reasons. That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No. No, it doesn't, Maya. About Mr. Hammer. Ah, okay, now she's gonna get fired up. I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer, you'd drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it. Calling him a criminal, a thief. I won't forget this. Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Power's costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop so low. It's impossible. See if we can't go to the trailer. Maybe. Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the Steel Samurai costume. Then he left from here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him, like the director or the producer. There's D. Vasquez. Hey, Nick, it's Ms. Vasquez. Hello? Hello. Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. That's all she had to say, apparently. There's some flowers here. That fence looks dangerous. Yep. Excuse me. Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder, and... Shh. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really ticking me off. Oh, Maya's about to cry. I don't want Maya to cry. Oh, dear. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it. Nick, she did it. She's the killer. My fate blood speaks to me. I know it. I know it. Oh, dear. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila? If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer. By yourselves? Oh, dear. I don't think presenting anything to her is gonna... Yeah. I'll go in the trailer and see. Oh, moving something along. Wasn't the assistant cleaning up yesterday? Funny, it still seems pretty messy in here. I guess she was still on a high from getting that rare card she needed. Designing a set for the Steel Samurai show. A lot of money on the sets. Where they had the meeting. There are documents and paper cups. Nothing in here that could be a clue, just some paper cups and crumpled documents. I think I need to examine a couple of things. A light van for moving staff and equipment around. They've kept it in pretty good shape. Looks like it'd run fine. No license. They did that last time. An incinerator. Apparently they just put this one in. It's already covered in soot. They must not clean it much. This is where Salmonella and D. Vasquez ate. There's nothing left on the plates. Hey, so they ate T-bone steaks too. Something wrong? I don't know. I'm getting this funny feeling. Something about this just feels odd, you know? Yeah, like where are the bones? Can't say that I do. Yeah, where are the bones? They've been sitting here for quite some time. This might as well be a junkyard. Yeah, Let's go to the employee area? Just gotta find where all the triggers are to move the story forward. I guess they're not filming today either. I did want to see them filming, just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there are any other clues lying around. Oh, there's Gumshoe. No touching. Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean I almost had a heart attack. I guess I can be a little dramatique at times. I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal, traces thereof. Always happy to talk to Gumshoe. I really like him. So you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills? How? I don't know why my assistant on my phone just went off. For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there are traces, it'll change color. Wow, neat. Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now, everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers, and some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. How is Edgeworth doing, anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control. He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups? Bottles? Say, whatever happened with that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you about that. They found the victim Jack Hammer's print on the bottle. So that means... Yep, sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right. Gotta be correct, hell yeah. Think I have anything to present here. Backdrop. That grate's still lying here. Ah, they've seen wisdom at last. They know if they fixed it, I'd just kick it off again. Yeah, that's right. Maya wants kids to be able to come in and break in and see. That poor assistant. I want to talk to that assistant again. Looks like one of those electric-powered bicycles. I don't know. Oh. Yeah. T-bone. Yup. Oh. I'm gonna go into the dressing room and see if anyone's in here. Oh, hey, I just said I wanted to speak to her again. She's a nice kid. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent. Thank you for reading these out loud. It was very entertaining while giving Buddy a bath. Oh, I'm more than happy to. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. If I was a little more practiced, I would be doing different voices for different characters, but that's a lot to keep up with, and there's a lot of reading. Yeah, yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of The Steel Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume, too. What? Oh man, Raven the voice actor playing several voices? Yes, please. On my initial playthrough, or on my initial stream of this, I was trying to do different voices, like I was doing a gruff voice for Detective Gumshoe, pal, but I couldn't keep up with it. It's a lot of talking, and while I'm still building up to being able to talking for hours at a time, adding voices on top of that is something that I would still need to develop. Forever the DM, never a player. How would I even remember all the different voices? That, my dear, is called autism. I've got it. I've got a freaky brain. Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh. I guess the rumor must be true, then. The rumor? Yeah, Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. Some dirt? What dirt? Dirt, you know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was, too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set, then? I really like learning about all the different kinds of neurospicy, like, and how things manifest in different people, you know? Like, I don't know, it seems like one thing that a lot of us have in common is our ability to hyper-focus on our special interests, whatever that may be. And sometimes how our special interests can jump from one thing to another. Hence why I play 3 different card games and collect all kinds of like old, obsolete media. And yeah, and also all the computer parts that are behind the camera and everything. I don't know. I collect hobbies. Here. What do you mean, the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Pretends I didn't fill my house with more tools and took apart my computer. Gee, I wouldn't know anything about more tools and taking apart computers and everything. You know, don't mind me just messing around with my LPT screwdriver here. My retro-themed LTT screwdriver in the Super NES colors. You have lasers? What does that mean? I'm curious. Oh, yeah. A good ratcheting screwdriver. And the Linus Tech Tip screwdriver. Oh, laser cutter engraver? Like a Glowforge, or one a little bit less premium than a Glowforge? Because, yeah, we have X-Tool M1 Ultra. Nice. We have one, it's only a 3.5 watt laser, which is not great. But it does the job for what we need it to do. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna be selling, unfortunately I don't think anyone's local to me, and shipping these would be a nightmare, but I'm gonna be selling 3 3D printers. Because, honestly, lately they were just sitting around not getting used. I might have pushed it to the set wood on fire point just so I know what not to do in the future. Honestly, that's not a terrible idea, and I would love a resin printer, but we don't have anywhere that we can safely use it, because we need somewhere to evacuate the fumes and everything like that, and it's not feasible in this space right now. But yeah, I've got two Ender 3s, or Ender 3 Pros, I should say, and a G-Tech i3, the wooden frame one, the Pro W. But it's a clone of the Prusa i3. And they're great printers, they just don't get used like anymore, really. It's funny, my carrying case for my batteries for my vape is 3D printed. An air purifier that works magic with the laser, so hacking that together. That's really cool. That's awesome. Just... I have no idea what that is. The Moko made Discord? Yeah, obviously not. I have no idea what that is. But also, I'm not sure that I necessarily need to be in another Discord right now. I've got too many servers to keep up with as it is. But, I don't know, if you want to join my Discord, it's, right there, feel free to, and if you want to drop a link to that Moko made Discord, that would be allowed, and there are other makers and crafters in my Discord that might be interested in it. So, yeah, that might not be a bad idea. I don't know how, if it would come down to shipping, I don't know how I would do that. I was thinking about just resorting to Facebook Marketplace, but it's a little daunting, you know. Let's see here. I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. It's about the Steel Samurai getting canceled. Yeah, and I'll even be a little more specific. I'm in Colorado. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not going to make kids shows anymore. What? Why? Yeah, it's... You know, you think of... you don't necessarily think of Colorado as a place a bunch of people live, but they really do. I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at there. I don't... Yeah, see? Penny doesn't know either. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. Let's see. Why aren't they going to make kids shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all of this ever happened. They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? Oh no, Maya's about to cry again. There's little teardrops in the corners of her eyes. She looks so sad. What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay, I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No, that can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Does anyone here have a kids show that they are unreasonably attached to as an adult? I know there's a lot of Gen Z and Millennial Bluey fans. Don't get me wrong, I adore Bluey. It's just not something that I watch frequently. Some anime counts. What how the Pokemon anime is these days. I haven't really watched it. I know I still love Sailor Moon, but I also haven't watched that in ages. Yeah, the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken for sure. Nick, say something. Discworld Books, Sir Terry Pratchett. Got excellent taste. Have you ever played the Discworld point-and-click adventure games? That was, I want to say it was MS-DOS / Windows 3.1, and also the PlayStation had Discworld point-and-click adventures where you played as Rincewind. And they were hilarious. They were so good. You work on events with a writer who does work with the estate. That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. You know what? I may just, I may find the ISOs for Discworld 1 and 2 for PlayStation and play that on stream one of these days. Because I'm sure they'll run great on BizHawk. But yeah, I think people would get a kick out of it. And they're definitely old enough to count as retro. Nick, say something. Yeah, I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this.
Take that!
And this is... You do that, you ping... Alright. You know what? Yeah, there is a, games... Yeah, stream game suggestions. Yeah, in stream game suggestions, if you want to put a reminder for me in there, you're in Sweden. I did not know that. Or maybe I did. It's kind of sounded familiar. I don't know, actually, if I knew that or not. It is 3:30 a.m. and you're being... I wouldn't say you're being an idiot. You're just prioritizing something. Yeah, if you join the Discord, if you put the, put a reminder for me to get the Discworld games on, like, the Discworld ISOs, and I'll play them on stream probably once I'm done with, Ace Attorney, before I jump into more Phoenix Wright games, I will play Discworld. Fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. Awesome, thank you, Raven. The show shouldn't be canceled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay, but what can I do? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. We'll figure it out on Discord. It'll be fine. I mean, after all, I'm the one with the admin role and the different name color, so I think it's okay. Yeah, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. You're a cat, and my avatar picture is the La Dispute flower. Like, wow, you can barely see that. My lighting is dog shit. But yeah, that got made on a Cricut and put onto my water cup. Okay. Alright, getting some information about 5 years ago. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer. And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know, Mr. Hammer was a big star back then. They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. She was here at the studios back then, you know. Thanks, we'll try asking her. If she'll talk. Alright, let's go back to the main gate. See if we can't talk to Miss Oldbag. What, you're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer. It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. Alright. After this investigation section, I am going to take a quick break, but shouldn't be more than a couple of minutes. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Her eyes just go white. It's terrifying. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Huh? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols, that assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers! Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed, no less. I suppose you think this is fun? No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Hammer stole Powers' costume. You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume? I have proof. Sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I could prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills, with Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Who doesn't? I mean, really. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, correct? Well, yes. So? This is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. The 1-2 punch for the old bag. I see. Poor, poor Hammer. That can is empty. Not good. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay, you win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag? You're right. 5 years ago there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the Mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand, poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here, take this. A photograph. Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on top of the stairs here, or there. He pushed the other actor and the man fell onto the flower box fence. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand. Alright. Alright, I bet. Yeah, if we go to Studio 2 and present Miss Vasquez, because, yeah, she doesn't want to talk, but if we present this, she's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well, Oldbag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right. Anyway, Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? You used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. The... huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind? Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. Yeah, no shit. You came. Well then, what was that you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kids' shows for petty change. So I'm a blackmailer now? Yes. Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause. You pressured him. And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident, accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think, what would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. He jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. Yeah, that sounds like old bag. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy, but he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? This is valuable evidence. Boys. Yakuza. These are some tough-looking dudes. Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow? How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it. Tell me why. Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should D. Vasquez care about it at all? I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No! Come on, where's Gumshoe? There he is. Boom. Our hero. Hold it right there. I heard everything, pal. D. Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me, now. Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow, then, in court. I'll be looking forward to it. Hey, you okay, pal? Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Detective Gumshoe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just... I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Okay, I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. God, I love Detective Gumshoe. He's the best. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? D. Vasquez. There we go. There's our point between the investigation and the trial. Gonna manual save real quick. And then we're gonna jump over here. Pop on some music. Some title fight, if you will. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Anyone that needs to, get up, stretch your legs, grab a snack, grab some water, get some fresh air. And I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right. Nice quick break there. Let me get the, now it's mom jeans. But, jump back over here. All right, and we're back. Had to adjust my headphones a little bit, too. So, all right. All right, yep, got audio. Cancel out of here and go into the trial, the final day. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. You know, actually, the more I think about it, a few weeks ago, I got called for jury duty, and I had to go. And the jury, the judge actually did mention it was, I want to say it was for another, I'd been on a jury before for a DUI, right? I think this was another DUI. At any rate, though, I think that the judge said during jury selection that it was scheduled for like 3 days. And, yeah, I'm not... I mean, I guess it makes sense that they would know how long it was scheduled for, because they know what witnesses they have and everything like that. But come to think of it, 3 days for a DUI trial seems kind of long. I don't know. Either way, yeah, back to this. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. It's kind of Edgeworth's default state, I think, is on edge, right? You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. And she's smoking in court. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez, I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Bet you'd like that, wouldn't you, Phoenix? Mafia ties. Not good. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 o'clock sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? Double entendre there, huh? The van. There's a van at Studio 2. I had him take me in that. In the back of the van, or what? I thought it might be risky to walk, what with that monkey's head toppling over. Excuse me for a moment. I did forget to do one thing on break. My alarm is going to go off in about 6 minutes for my allergy meds. I'm just going to take it early because I tend to forget occasionally and then remember like an hour later. Yeah. Van added to the court record. This reminds me of like my favorite joke from Mallrats. My favorite recurring joke from Mallrats, I should say. It's like he wanted to have sex with her in a very uncomfortable place. What, like the back of a Volkswagen? Dumb. So it's actually brilliant. But yeah. I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. It'd be so funny to put on the Final Fantasy VII boss music. Not gonna. But it would be funny. I entered the trailer. Yeah, press on everything. By yourself? Yes. And you didn't stop in at the employee area? No. You want me to do it? Alright. I'm very susceptible to peer pressure. I am, however, going to mute the game audio so we don't get conflicting audio. Just a second. Gotta find it. You say do it too. Alright. It's gonna be... Okay, I think... Okay, we got it. Are you always this terse? Yes. Oh dear. The meeting began at 12 o'clock sharp. It ended at 4. Did no one leave during the meeting? No one. Come on, let's talk a bit more about that. The witness did not come here to engage in idle conversation. Stop interrupting the testimony. The same could be said to you, Mr. Edgeworth. And please stop banging on your little desk. It hurts my ears. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Damn, tickle in my nose. Ugh. And when exactly was that? I've forgotten. Maybe you could try remembering? No. The meeting ended at 4, and the rehearsal was scheduled for 5. I would think it was between those times. You would think? Come on, all you did was state the obvious, Edgeworth. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. Hold on. You had Sal take you? What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh right. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. What were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. It irritates me. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Ooh. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal. No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak... Well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. I gotta see what the court record has again. The van, the steak plate in the employee area, sleeping pill, accident involving Jack Hammer. Hmm. Yeah, those are the plates for the employee area, though. But they've got large bone. What's the next song on this playlist? Red 13's theme. I think. Do I have it set to? Why is it? That's. Why is it playing Mark of a Traitor? That's really bizarre. Why did it jump all the way down there? No, the plates from the trailer didn't enter as evidence. Um, and there's the alarm for my allergy meds, which y'all saw me take to keep me accountable. Began at 12 sharp, it ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. See if about presenting. I'm going to try presenting the plate anyway. As I thought. Oh, what? You claim you ate a T-bone steak. You were right, Raven. The plate was the answer. You claim you ate a T-bone steak, but I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you it was a T-bone steak? Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare. Miss Vasquez, tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. Raven coming in clutch with the help on the evidence. You're awesome. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Are you saying? Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. I'm going to keep on doing boss themes here. Yeah, Genova complete now. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh, yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? You couldn't. I think you would have a great deal of difficulty using that as a weapon. Pretty much anyone would. Ha. You see? Yes. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as the murder weapon. Wrong, Mr. Wright, but I haven't said anything yet. That's the wrong evidence. What? Okay, I thought it would be this old accident. Is it because it was mended with duct tape? Oh, I guess. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run through. But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order, order. Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Now do I present this? Yep. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer standing at the top of the stairs. Order, order. If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? Alright, let's go. Birth of a God. This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it. See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying... Yes. What happened 5 years ago? Has happened again. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had done himself 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago. Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to the trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? You'd be surprised. I bet she could do it. When people think their life depends on it, they can do amazing things. Mr. Wright, this is not an episode of That's Incredible. If you claim she did everything in 15 minutes, let me guess, show me proof. Correct, show me proof. How am I supposed to do that? Then I won't have you making unsubstantiated claims. I have proof, though. Wait a second, how does he know what I'm thinking? Huh. I need only look at the cold sweat running down your face to know what you're thinking. Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to reconsider your claim? What if she had another way to carry the body other than with her own hands? Okay, picking the right dialogue option. Got it. For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Recall your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. Alright, think we're good on the boss music now. We'll bring back the actual game music here. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget it was Sal Manella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course, Sal Manella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Everyone's just kind of dumbfounded. I love it. So, what happens next? Don't question mark me. Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jack Hammer. This is so awkward. It's like an episode of The Office with the cringe humor. Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and the result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. I love Phoenix's facial reactions and animations. They're so good. Order. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it, but there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? I'd like you to testify again. Testify again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright. Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before, the truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Damn. Damn! To come so far only to fail. Not about that. As it seems there are no further questions, I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Edgeworth, come in clutch. What's up, my dude? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I request that the witness testify again. That's what I just said. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. You can badger your own witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, Indeed, verily I say, ergo! We want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth? Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies into costumes, mind you. Where were the other employees when you got to the studio? They weren't there yet. Well, then you could have put Hammer in that costume with Salmonella's help. Oh? What did I just say? Did I not just say I wasn't stuffing any bodies into any costumes? You should try to listen to what people are saying, boy. Boy? The witness will continue her testimony. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember what? There was a dead body lying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second, wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps, but no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his Steel Samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that explains that. Very well, Miss Vasquez, you may continue. I immediately called the police, then Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at that time? No one said a thing. It was silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry, I'm late. Then silence. Dead silence. Like that. Silence. Hey, Nick. Why's everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. The security lady Oldbag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Oldbag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right, the Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's word? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. You asked to be left out? Yes. It seems that everyone else was questioned, and I'm really not fond of that sort of thing. But you can't just decide who the police will and won't question. Thankfully, the studio thinks otherwise. They were nice enough to understand that since we were in a meeting. There was no way we could have been involved. Thus, they covered for us. Covered for you, or covered it up for you. There must have been a lot riding on it with all those bigwigs at the meeting. I'm sure her professionals helped convince everyone they didn't require questioning. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. The script and your direction notes. Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. That's... That... Your Honor... I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio One. Accurate, yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, what you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well, the witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. No, you didn't. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director? You have to find something to peg this honor here, or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. He's prosecuting on behalf of the victim, no? And in this case, now she is the suspect, not Will. Correct. Okay. Dragging the leg, guide map. Maybe this photo? Yeah, that's it. You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. Oh, yeah, she said Hammer. Duh. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in the photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right, he mustn't have gotten it wrong, or he must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah, and when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in that Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. I missed that wording. Order, order. I will have order. Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? The, self-preservation instinct is quite strong. Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Okay. I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. Gotta be this photo, right? Nope. Oh, yeah, I guess so. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. This is tough. Because I don't think she has a motive. I don't know. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? Are you allowed to kind of... Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, by all means. Thing is, there's nothing in evidence. Correct. Yeah. But she mentioned she was done with kids' shows. Unfortunately, Penny's testimony to that isn't court testimony. Maybe she wanted to kill Will. And thought that was Will? Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what Phoenix has to say here. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? I almost like your interpretation better than the game's, honestly. Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the Steel Samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Broke her smoking implement. So you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Ah, Miss Vasquez. What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Miss Vasquez, try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No! Please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. Mr. Edgeworth, where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor, as calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. He always looks so timid in his body language. He's just a big old teddy bear. That is all. This court is adjourned. Yeah, Raven, that is a good interpretation. I really like that. I like both of them, but yours is kind of cool. I like it. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think he tried to frame me for the murder makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me. Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... Oh, yeah. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kids' show, and as the villain to boot. The kids love the Steel Samurai, and so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him any time. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Ah! Nick! Edgeworth! Such a snarling look on his face. Say something, Wright. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right? I must say I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Yeah, about that. Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if. They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids' shows again. Nick, this is it. The new show starts today. You're gonna watch it with me, right? I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Will Powers is in the pink princess costume? What the hell? That's crazy. Alright. Yep. Alright. So it is currently 8:37 p.m. where I am. I'm sure it is much later where other people are. And this is an excellent stopping point before getting into a whole new case. Let me jump back to where I was here. Yeah, early. I suppose that is valid. Oh, come on. Where did my iTunes crash? God damn it. Hold on a second. 4:30 a.m. Good Lord, Raven. Give me just a second. I have to tank a process here. Or... Oh, come on. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Let me reopen iTunes real quick so we can. Yeah. Well, 4:30 a.m. can be early or late, depending on how you look at it. Here we go. Get some Modest Mouse on this Midwest emo, which I don't know if Modest Mouse qualifies as Midwest emo. That was a little loud in my headphones, but luckily volume is normalized for you guys. Anyway, excellent case, and now let's jump over to the ending screen, and I'm gonna start taking a look and see if there's anyone we can raid out into. Let me just select following, see if. All right. So we do have someone who I've enjoyed watching in the past. Their name is Almighty Ange, and I do have a raid call. Boom. So we are gonna go and give. Yeah, real interesting case. This game really has a way of making cases interesting. You know, that they're good at storytelling, you know? But yeah, Ange, like I said, we're gonna raid over into Ange. She's currently playing Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, and she's super cool. And I want everyone to be super nice and say hi. I will be back Thursday. I don't know if I'm going to be playing Pokemon TCG Live on Thursday or if I'm going to start the next case in Phoenix Wright. We'll talk about it in Discord. Yeah, beyond that, we'll be back on Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain. And then again after that on Saturday at 11 a.m. Mountain for Final Fantasy IX. I want to thank everyone for joining, for hanging out, talking in chat. Y'all made my night really, really nice, and I appreciate it. So we will definitely see you next time. Bye.